KDFL Dynasty Football Podcast. It's me, Brett Steele, and joining me this week, the ZENFUL Matt Smith.
Good evening, beautiful people.
All right, Detroit is on break this week. He's actually in Detroit. Took in the Lions victory on Monday night, so he'll be back next week to give us a full recap and his usual upbeat, positive energy. But for right now, we have a KDFL Week 4 that we have to go over. So, Matt, take it away.
All right, we start out with the Marmat Midnight Riders, heavy favorites traveling to the Cross Vegas Gamblers. Everybody expecting the Gamblers to get an easy victory in Cross Vegas this week. Baker Mayfield leads the way with the Midnight Riders scoring 31 points, followed by Kyron Williams with 20 points and Robert Spillane getting 19 points. The Cross Vegas Gamblers, surprise of their own. They're known for their good defenses. Troy Anderson scoring 42 points. Crazy number for a defensive player. Don't think I've seen that in this league. Buda Baker scoring 19 points and Zach Moss getting 18 points. And a stunning shocker, the Cross Vegas Gamblers destroy the Midnight Riders 254 to 199.
All right, next, we're going to go to St. Albans, where the 1 and 2 Sinners are hosting the undefeated Dogtown Dobermans. And this one went tit for tat at the beginning. Brooks for the Dobermans led all scores with 27. Levante David for the Sinners led the Sinners team with 27 of his own. And then we go to the oldies but goodies offensive weapons for both teams as Alvin Kamara scores 25 for the Dobermans, and Mike Evans scores 23 for the Sinners. Next, we get Fred Warner with his pick 6, scoring 24 for the Dobermans. But then the Sinners pull the break glass in case of emergency trade lever, trading for Sam Darnold 5 minutes before the games begin, and he puts up 23 for his new team, and the Sinners knock off the undefeated Dobermans 259 to 240.
Great to see a Zen Master finally get a W this year with Sam Darnold.
That's right.
Legend.
That's right.
Next up, we have the South Hills Evil Empire traveling to sunny Florida to face the Melbourne Mega Powers in a potential playoff matchup this year. We start out Melbourne having a huge performance from wide receiver 1 on the year, Nico Collins, with 33 points. The Evil Empire come back with C.J. Stroud, the greatest QB after Justin Herbert and ever, scoring 26 points. Justin Jefferson also leads the way for the Evil Empire, scoring 21 points. The Mega Powers get, keep butchering his name.
Jaquan.
O'Quan Brisker for the Bears, getting 31 points. And the Evil Empire, Jamar Chase, finally coming through this week with 19 points. For the Mega Power, some are questioning if CMC ever needs to come back. He can stay in Germany. Pointless. Don't need him. Jordan Mason getting 24 points. And surprise to some, the Melbourne Mega Powers handily take out the Evil Empire, winning 274 to 224. Much needed victory for the Mega Powers.
All right, now let's go to Hurricane next, where the Wampus Cats are hosting the somewhat struggling out of the gate 1 and 2 Roxalana Renegades. Derrick Henry gets things popping for the Wampus Cats with 36. Loyal Renegade favorite Jared Goff with 29 of his own leads all scores for the Renegades. Amon-Ra St. Brown, benefiting from some of that Jared Goff production, puts up 22 for the Wampus Cats. Jonathan Taylor, injured and all, scores 20 for the Renegades, as well as James Conner also puts up 18. But it's Deontay Johnson who is so happy that Andy Dalton is under center in Carolina as he scores 21. Wampus Cats keep rolling. Renegades keep struggling. Wampus Cats win 217 to 201.
All right, next up we have the winless Elkview Riverettes traveling to the Kanawha County Kings. Not a far drive for them. We start out with Jaden Daniels, greatest rookie of all time. He looks awesome. Anybody drafted Caleb over him should probably rethink everything in life. Jaden Daniels scoring 24 points. Canes get 26 points from Lamar Jackson. Riverettes also get big performance from Chubba Hubbard. with
Chuba
22
chuba dubba.
points. CeeDee Lamb for the Kings, of course, always coming through great. Better than Mac Jones, 24 points. Uh, River Rats get Geno Smith, 22 points, continue to do well. Ron Robinson for the Kings, playing well again with 20 points overall. The Kings win this one, as everyone predicted, 241 to 208. River Rats fall to 0-4.
All right, now we finished with our game of the week. It's a loser leaves town match in Wake Forest. It's the Zen Masters and the Wake Forest Lumberjacks. And this one, so far, early candidate, early favorite for game of the year. We start off with Malik Neighbors continuing his very impressive rookie campaign with 23 points. Paulson Adebo, a defensive safety for the Saints, scores 29 for the Lumberjacks. And if it ain't the 1-2 punch the Giants have become, Mr. Wandale Robinson continues his steadily year 3 steady breakout with 18. Jaden Reed continues to stay hot with 27 for the Lumberjacks. Tony Adams, jet safety with 18, wraps up the high scores for the Zen Masters. And Chase Brown with 25 of his own tries to keep the Lumberjacks in it. But in the closest game that I can remember in quite some time, and it's still on stat correction watch. There's no way that this bad boy is over and not going to move at all come Thursday. But with a final score right now, the Zen Masters take out the Lumberjacks 204.74 to 204.68. That is it for your KDFL Week 4 results. There is no way that you think that you're going to hold on to this game, is there?
No, first off, I don't know that the Zen Masters were ever in town to begin with. Loser leaves town. I think we were already out of town before the season started. But yeah,
can't let the truth get in the way of a good story.
We shall see with the .06. I need the ESPN fantasy stat guys to
look
really check those numbers.
It's a loser leaves town where you both ended up with the same record at the end. So how about that
exactly.
for a good narrative?
Yeah. I'm not winless now. As of
You're not.
This current moment.
That's a good point, though, because there are also the Dobermans fell, the Midnight Riders fell, and the Evil Empire fell. There are no more winless team or undefeated teams in the KDFL. There is still one winless team for the moment.
And Mr. Encouragement himself.
Yeah, Mr. Encouragement, the beacon of encouragement, the light of our league. Somehow cannot find a win column yet, but I'm sure it's just on the. We'll see who he has this week in our rundown. We'll see if he can get past the team this week. A little spoiler there. All right. So let's talk about the games. There was one big game that happened this week. It was the Falcons and Saints. Still decked out in my throwback gear. Lovely last second 58-yard field goal, new career high, new record in that stadium, longest field goal in that stadium. But I have to be honest, it was a weird game, and I came away learning nothing. I know nothing about who the Falcons are, about who the Saints are, about who a lot of the NFL is. So what do you think right now, Matt?
The Saints are still going to be great. Still going to win the division. I was a last second field goal. Saints look like the better team, as always.
I do think they did, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I do think they look better. But I don't know. We're seeing Monday night. Move on to the next week. Monday night, my birthday. Derek Carr is going to whip that Chiefs' ass off. Spoiler alert for later on.
Yes.
The Saints dominant 2-0. They lost last week. They were the most conservative team ever against the Eagles. That's where they ran the ball every single play. This week I wasn't able to watch a whole lot of the game, but I don't know. Were they doing big plays this week?
No, but I'm not being cocky. I think I texted you just during the game. The strong suit of the Falcons it is the definition of bend don't break defense. You can't get over the top on us. So that Shaheed stuff did not happen in this game because of Bates and Simmons. I've never seen a team. Can't think of another team. I'm sure there are out there people that know more about defenses than I do, but I've seen like a D line be the calling card to a team. I've seen like cornerbacks be the strength of a defense, shut down corners. I've seen like regular linebackers. I've never seen two safeties be the ones in quite a while. I'm sure there's some out there that I'm not thinking of, but Simmons and Bates kind of not or kept that stuff from going to the top. Shaheed still had a good game. He had like 8 catches, a good amount of yards,
Yeah,
but that patented play over the top bomb didn't happen. Wasn't attempted this week. A freak. Well, it wasn't really. I guess it was a good play. Judon knocks the ball 50 feet in the air, falls in Troy Anderson's lap. He runs it back because he is fast. He's a 4.3 linebacker, which is pretty unheard of. But so he runs it back. Shaheed trying to field the punt inside the 3 over his head. I have no
yeah,
clue what happened there.
yeah. That's two
So
touchdowns. That
2 touchdowns, and we
thanks
didn't
for
score an
reminding
offensive
me.
touchdown.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
tried to forget this game.
yeah,
I still think the Saints. I have to tell the Saints. The Saints got to come back big on Monday. Um,
yeah.
okay, as for a fantasy football podcast, and
Yes.
you're a Falcons fan, what do you tell every owner? Which I killed him off 2 years ago. What do you tell every owner about Kyle Pitts?
I think it's I think it's done. I don't know, man. I think it's done. I think
He had
he's
zero, right?
yeah, three
Yeah,
targets.
Raheem Morris is calling people like me and you losers.
He did. He did. Stats are for losers. All
Anyone
right.
listening to this, you're a loser, according to Raheem Morris.
Raheem the Dream. Um, look, I've said it a lot. I'm not gonna define Kyle Pitts after a year or a year with Mariota and a year with Desmond Ritter. Um, he did have 1,000 yards with Matt Ryan. He only had 2 touchdowns that year. But now it's like the best way I can say it, Drake London's having his best season so far. All right. Wide receiver 24 on the year. I think he hasn't been inside the 30s yet in his career yet. Just a couple big games here and there, but it's more consistent now. And Kyle Pitts is not like he's just the same thing. Like I can almost guarantee you that this week he's going to have like a 40-yard catch or like 3 for 60 or something like that. Because it's just going to be enough to have you coming back and think, oh, it's there. The talent's there. I don't know. Because this is a
Yeah.
McVay tree thing with Zach Robinson. They didn't use a tight end a ton. Stafford and them don't use tight ends a ton. Tyler Higbee, stuff like that. But this was Kyle Pitts. This was number 4 overall pick. I mean, you passed on Jamar
Yeah.
Chase for this guy. You passed on Micah Parsons for this guy. So
Yeah,
I
but
don't know. I'm not.
everyone thought I
It's
don't
on
blame the
him
Falcons
now.
for that. Yeah.
It's on
He
him
was
now.
a
Is the way I'll
phenom.
say it.
He was a phenom out of college. I can't blame the
Yeah.
Falcons for drafting him.
I would say it's on the onus has officially shifted. The fan base has definitely shifted. It is on him now. The Devontae Adams wanting to trade. There's unlimited amounts of trade packages I've seen with Kyle Pitts involved. What was it? Kyle Pitts in the 4th for Devontae Adams and Michael Mayer. That's when I saw.
Devontae Adams is a good segue, but I do think Devontae Adams will be the Jets or the Saints, and the Saints
Why would he go to
got
the Saints? Oh, because of
Derek Carr, best
he
friend.
doesn't get to pick where he goes. Does he have no trade clause?
They pretty much do. What? So he gets traded to the. He gets traded. I'm trying to think of the Titans or something. It's like I'm not
Yeah,
playing for them. You have a no trade. Everybody has a no trade clause when they say they're
to an
not playing.
extent.
They're
Well, I
not
mean, I
showing
think
up.
that they know, like, yeah, I get what you're saying. It just doesn't
I feel
make
like,
sense for the Saints.
but I think this. I think it does make sense. Shaheed has been making some mistakes. I've noticed. I've yelled at him a few times the past 2 weeks.
I have not remembered
He,
distinctly yelling at him.
he is their wide receiver too, so it's not like they're loaded at wide receiver. Shaheed's been fine, but it's not like, oh my god, the Saints wide receivers are absolutely dominant.
I see
Like
what you're saying.
Devontae could fill in
Still
there.
waiting on that A.T. Perry breakout.
Still waiting on him. Drop that guy. I got to drop.
But
But
I said this earlier.
Yeah.
Falcons, last thing on them. I feel like the season now officially starts. It's Thursday. We start on Thursday with the Bucks, and it is time. It is the Ring of Honor time for our sweet Matty Ice going in the Ring of Honor. Remember, I've told you this a million times, Matt. The Falcons don't retire numbers per se. Okay.
Yeah,
So, I've been very clear with you about that over the years. They don't retire numbers.
I know.
But I do think it'll be like nobody's gonna wear 2 again. So nobody will wear 11 again. It's gonna be good stuff. Julio's next. What else?
Yeah.
Jaguars. Let's talk about them real quick. People are dying to know.
We talked about Devontae Adams. Let's go to the Raiders for a second.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Devontae Adams just seven of my three teams, the Raiders won. So
They
got
did.
one of my three teams will usually
They
win
did.
for the week. It was ugly, but the Browns suck. Like Watson, just get out of the league. And the Raiders did. The Raiders were missing a ton of people. Like they were missing. I don't know if it was. Well, Adams was out because I think he's getting traded probably
Tight
tonight, or
hamstring.
I don't know. Yeah, so he'll get traded. Brock Bowers, he didn't do much. The running game has not done much. Trying to think how they even won the game. It was, I don't know.
Amari
It
Cooper
was,
let the ball hit him in the chest
yeah,
and then
he
went
did
into
do
the
that.
other team. Amari Cooper got an 80-yard touchdown called back because of a bad penalty, apparently.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, he had an 80-yard bomb because we were in the midst of the Mega Powers and Evil Empire was very much not decided yet, and that could have flipped it on its head. Amari Cooper 80-yard touchdown.
Gardner had a total of 130 yards.
That's just
Demir
what you want.
White is just not. I swear they need to put Brock Bowers at running back. He had one rush for 12 yards, and it looked absolutely amazing.
Yes.
um, But yeah, they did nothing really, but we scored 20 points. So 20-16, that's all it needs. That's all you needed to beat them.
Yeah.
But Adams, they get rid of Adams. That's Crosby's first ever game missed, which sucks because Crosby never misses. But he
Right.
didn't practice all week. I don't know where the Raiders go from here. After you get rid of Adams, maybe ideally, maybe they're a 500 team, but then what does it matter if you're a 500 team?
I think that's the worst place to be.
I know, yeah. So
it's coming from the team that's 3 years in a row of 7-10. That's the worst. Actually, 7-10 was not crazy bad because you're still picking the top 10 more than likely, but it is not. It's not great.
yeah, it's crazy. I saw that. I saw a thing on Twitter yesterday. Greg Zerline made a field goal against the Commanders
Yes,
last year.
and that's how they get Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, that's how they got. They
saw
won 4
that.
games. The second pick overall won 4 games last year. It's
Yeah.
like a lot for a second pick overall. But anyway, Jaguars 0-4. They might be the greatest 0-4 team ever offensively.
All time.
Although they're going to be the greatest pick 1 overall ever next year if that happens. Doug Peterson sounded like
I got tweets that he's lost the locker room.
He was such an arrogant jackass on Sunday
That was
night.
crazy. I didn't expect him to be like that.
But then Monday I listened to the press conference. It was about 20 minutes, and I think somebody talked to him because he was much more calm. He was giving good analogies on how, but still Sunday. I'm like,
I did not ever expect him to talk. That's like a Ben McAdoo answer or some shit. Like I would never expect him to do. I don't know what this thing is with Press Taylor, how much he loves him, but
he loves him. He loved him in Philly, and apparently that's why they got fired.
I mean, you win a Super Bowl with a guy, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
But sure.
Bring on Bill Belichick. I can't imagine.
That would be
my life.
I
hated that man for 25 years of my life, and he might be living near me.
That is you can't even see that.
I just hang out with him at Sawgrass. Me and Bill.
He's on the water slide. He's on the water slide at Nocatee. Oh yeah. I like him at the water slide. He's in the lazy river. He's in the lazy river of Nocatee.
Bill Belichick and Bob Papa just hanging out together.
All right. Are we ready to roll right into KDFL week 5? I keep saying these podcasts are going to be 45 minutes or so, and they never are. So we can try for it. Yeah. We're currently for the people, we're at 20 minutes already.
Oh, yeah. No, we'll get there. I don't think we'll be that long. We're safe.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
KDFL week 5. Let's throw up the results on the big board. This always confuses Matt in Detroit because they think I'm doing something when really it's just done in post-production. But looking at the results right now, as it stands, this could be wrong by the time the podcast comes out Thursday morning. But as it stands right now, last week, Detroit went an amazing 1-5 on his KDFL picks. Matt went 3-3. Yours truly went 4-2. as I believed in the Zen Masters and the Mega Powers. So it gives me a 2 game lead, 16-8, Matt 14-10, Detroit 13-11. To the NFL picks, Detroit goes perfect this week with Chicago -2.5 and the over in the Atlanta and New Orleans game. Matt went 0-2 with he had Buffalo +2.5 and the Jaguars and Texans over. And I missed the Cowboys -5.5 by that last second field goal miss. And I hit the Broncos and Jets easiest under ever, under 38.5. Detroit Matt 5-3. And I fall to 4-4 on the season. So let me get set up with what I want to get set up with here. And we are going to go right to that's what we want. And right here. And we're going to go right to big board and share this bad boy. Everybody likes the commentary as I do it. Boom. Let me know when you can see what we got going on. You can see it. All right. First up, we are going to start with a little bit of some bravado from this team. I'm a little bit scared I'm running into a buzzsaw right now. An absolute wagon. We'll start with the Gamblers at 2-2. Hey, we have the same record. The Gamblers and the Mega Powers are both 2-2. They come off a huge win, upsetting. This is the upsetting the defending champ Midnight Riders. Now, I will say before we get into it, this is literally the beauty of the KDFL. When most fantasy teams, most dynasty leagues, they just have large offensive rosters. The defenses make it possible for you to really shock a team and really get hot in some positions. And that is what we've all had it happen to us. We've all had it happen for us. And that's exactly what happened with the Gamblers. They had Troy Anderson gets that pick 6. He has 13 tackles. He's all over the place. And he puts up 42 points, which I think is got to be up there near the top for the most ever that we've seen a defensive player do. Look at this matchup. A little bit worried about Anthony Richardson. Is he going to play? Is he not? He just looks like a car crash every time he touches the ball right now. So we'll see what happens with that. But looking at the projections, Matt, I did this with Detroit last week. It seemed to be, pretty solid. Maybe pick one here. Let's go. Somebody kind of coming along in the offense. Actually, let's stay with Atlanta because it's just all about Atlanta this week. Okay, buddy. We'll stay with Atlanta. We'll stay with Drake London at 15.3, 15 points projection. He's averaging 13, wide receiver 24. Like I said, on the year, you say Drake London over under 15 points.
I think it's gonna have to be. I think it should be a decent scoring game. Bucks and Falcons. Thursday night games are so tough to predict, though.
It can get ugly.
I will say it's going to be entertaining. Falcons got to put up some points. I'll say he's going to be over 15.3. First off, can you say, looking at projections of 242 and 176, I don't want to hear that you are worried about anything. Saying you're worried
this man
about
put up
Anthony
250.
Richardson.
This man put up more than my projections.
He's got 2 guys on bye. But even if
I have people on bye too. Who do I have on bye?
No, I'm saying if you in the starting lineup right
Look
now.
at this bye, dude. Devontae Smith, Brian Branch. First off, let's highlight this real quick. I would ask the Midnight Riders to take note of this right here. I mean, just the murderer's row of it's an infirmary right now in Melbourne, but we're still trying to plug through next man up. All right. Fine.
Anyway,
I'm just saying the Gamblers.
So he's projecting. Looking at his bench, he's got like maybe 10 more points that he can add. He can add to his total. So 186. So instead of a 65-point spread, it's a 55-point spread. Close matchup.
I'm telling you, don't you curse me because it was the same projection. It wasn't this bad, but it was similar projections last week. All right, you never know when a team can lay an egg and when a team can get hot. All right, let's look at this. Looking at his team, DJ Moore has been off to a little bit of a struggle. Wide receiver 27. That's not what he was. It's not what his expectations are. Not what he was drafted to be. He's averaging 12.3 points a game. His projection is 14 points. Now he does have Carolina, which you should be able to move the ball on quite a bit. We just saw Jamar Chase have a big game against them. DJ Moore, without your bias, over under 14 points.
I'm concerned about the Bears right now. It's a coaching league. I saw something
It
earlier
is, dude.
today.
Yes, I knew you were going to say the
You
same tweet I saw. Go
you
ahead.
saw. I've been trying to get JSN from you, and
Yes.
you're like, why are you hiring Jason? The Seahawks got rid of their damn offensive
Shane Waldron.
coordinator that went to the Bears, and they suck. I mean,
Yep.
just imagine, like, it's crazy. I would love to know how it would be if Caleb was on the Commanders right now. How I know Jaden running and all that's different, but the coaching is crazy different with I'm saying that just the coaching in Chicago. I don't have high hopes for DJ Moore right now, and it sucks because I think DJ Moore is one of the best receivers in the league.
Yep.
I will say under his 13.9%.
So you have Drake London outscoring DJ Moore?
I do this week because DJ sucks. DJ Moore is definitely better than Drake London.
Revenge game for DJ Moore. It is a revenge game. So let's keep that because that definitely matters. People care about that. I think it's just criminal that you have this prize possession, first overall pick, and you keep Matt Eberflus and bring in Shane Waldron, and that's who you're talking about, the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And JSN was so happy he was gone, so happy, and now he's getting to be like, see what I tell you, he's doing the see what I told you. So. We'll see. Predictions wise on this actual matchup, Detroit does have the Mega Powers getting the win. Matt, what say you, buddy?
Mega Powers, obviously.
I am going to go Mega Powers as well. I don't like the obviously, that is unnecessary. Next up, it's the matchup that we talked about or alluded to. This is a fun one. Someone called a loser leaves town game.
I thought you already left town.
No, you're still in town. You're still here.
I'm not in it this year. I left before.
You're in the town. No, you got to stay. It's the Elkview River Rats going down to Nocatee to take on the 1-3 Nocatee Zen Masters, a combined 1-7 record for these two beautiful squads here. Let's look at the River Rats. I think we just have to go. Evan Ingram is not. Is he going to play? Is he back? No.
I mean, he's projected. He needs to be back for the love of God. But I love how I noticed this. He's starting Evan Ingram.
The double tight end. The double tight end. Jaguar strategy.
Yeah, I love it.
And of course, in true River Rats fashion, they do right now. They have the double Jaguar tight end strategy against the only team that won't work against that much because Trevor Lawrence is on the other side of this matchup. So, I absolutely love it. Let's look at Geno. He looked pretty strong last week against the Lions. It was kind of over the place, but he still put up a decent amount. Quarterback 13, averages 17 points. His projection is 18. He gets the Giants over under 18 points for Geno Smith.
Say over. I think it'll be another decent scoring game between these two teams, with the Seahawks and the Giants.
Okay. All right. So let's go to the other side. There's only one player I can call on. The man is having the year 3 breakout. Absolutely incredible. Wan'Dale Robinson. It is year 3 for him, right? I've said it twice now, so I hope to God it is.
Year 3. He got injured year 1. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was supposed to get Jalen Hyde in year 2, but it just didn't end up happening. So not one of my better calls. Year 3, Wan'Dale Robinson, wide receiver 22 on the season, averaging 13 points, and that is his projection. Over under 13 for Wan'Dale.
Danny Dimes throws it to him nonstop. I swear the dude had 10 catches at halftime on Thursday night against the Cowboys. They're just nonstop dinks. I got to go over, definitely, especially because Malik is still questionable. If Malik doesn't play, Wan'Dale's scoring 40 points. I know Malik got the concussion.
This is the offense.
Playing.
This is the
Malik and Wan'Dale, yeah.
Malik's the gas. Wan'Dale's the safety valve. I just came up with that on the spot. I'm a freaking genius. How fast I just came up with that. My brain is a beautiful thing.
If somebody wants to help me out with the running backs of mine, who I should start, I will. I'll happily take up those offers because I'm never going to get those right all year long. Justice Hill, on my bench with 21 points last week, which I was very high on Justice Hill at the beginning of the season. And he didn't do anything the past couple of weeks, and he scores 21 on my bench this week. So back in the lineup.
I love it. I love it. Nothing wrong with chasing points. That's what it's about.
Ah,
Um, Detroit has the River Rats getting the W here. Matt, what say you?
Uh, it's tough for me to pick me. I will say, one quick thing: Zen Masters. I might have the dynasty tight end one and the wide receiver one on this team. Then, so I'm good this year. I will continue my tradition, and I will pick the Elkview River Rats to beat me this week.
I got the Zen Masters going on a 2-game winning streak in the sky because you didn't leave town. You're just kicking people out of town.
I laughed.
So you didn't leave. That's definitely
I'm looking
loser
at
leaves town.
2025.
Leaving
Oh,
town is
hold on, wait.
definitely a
We
thing.
haven't talked. We haven't talked about it. We mentioned it. Sam Darnold, free agent
Oh
pickup,
yes,
$150 free agent pickup. I said he's going to be the best free agent of the year. So far, I look like an absolute genius for that. The only thing I look smart on in the KDFL. And I wanted a first. I wanted a first for him, but I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be that greedy. So I traded him to the Centers for a second and a third, which hopefully that will be a mid-second and a mid-third round pick. It said on the Dynasty trade calculators it's an even fair trade whenever you
right.
do mid-second and mid-third. Uh, the only reason I did that, I would not have done that if I did not have Drake May on my bench. With
Right.
no Drake May, I'm not trading away Sam Darnold because I do think Sam Darnold has a future. But
Yeah. Oh, we
so
talked. Yeah. Let's talk about it real quick because I think we have another Lance situation. It's possible.
yeah, with Minnesota, I mean
Yes.
they were talking. Belichick, I think, was on McAfee the other day, and he said it's a Brady Bledsoe situation, reversed with the rookie versus veteran. But
Look, when I
hey,
said Lance, I was giving a lot of props to Lance, comparing him to JJ McCarthy, but
Lance
comparing
is
Darnold to
trash.
Bledsoe is also a little bit of a stretch on the other side.
No, I'm saying the situation where the Patriots were not planning to go
Oh,
away from
okay.
Bledsoe. They weren't planning to go away from
Right.
Bledsoe.
I get
Bledsoe
it.
gets
I was thinking of
injured.
it too
They went with
literal. Okay.
Brady. So, like, yeah, it's just a situation. You have your quarterback, but then the other quarterback comes in and does awesome. And so, why
I
would
was
you
doing too
possibly
literal. I
no,
was making Darnold the
no,
old guy and JJ
no?
the young guy.
Why would you get rid of it's because I mean the way it looks right now, the Vikings are NFC Championship game or Super Bowl, making it in the
Yeah.
NFC. Just the way it looks through the first 4 weeks of the season,
Right.
they look great. They look great. I know they were dominating the Packers and then they came back some, but they look absolutely awesome. So how do you get rid of him if they continue this? Say they go 13-4, get a bye, and all you got to do is win one game in the playoffs, and they're in an NFC Championship game. How do you get rid of the NFC Championship QB for an unknown rookie?
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Uh, it's a good problem at the
And
end of the day. It is a
it
problem,
is, and I'm like,
but it's
yeah.
a good problem.
And Darnold, I said earlier, Darnold. I don't know if I said it earlier or not. I might have said it on another discussion we had. Darnold is younger than Joe Burrow. And Joe
Yeah.
Burrow is a jackass. Whoever, if he's dating somebody or not, break up that relationship, dude. Go talk to like Joe Rogan
Okay.
or
Look,
somebody and
hey,
become a man. God, like
I got
something's wrong with that guy.
I got the perfect segue. Okay, we've already done it because Matt, what team did you want to trade? Did you envision trading Sam Darnold to?
The Wake Forest Lumberjacks.
The Wake
That's what
Forest
I've been saying my
Lumberjacks.
pal.
Let's go to that
Right?
game real quick because we
All
have another
right.
thing to talk about. Because I got another segue because of Joe Burrow. Okay,
All
I
right.
promise you. I'm going to tie this back. It's going to make sense. But Wake Forest Lumberjacks taking at 1-3, taking on the 1-3 Roxanne Renegades. As we said in the rundown, the Renegades have not got off to the start that they wanted to, but they do have Jared Goff, and Jared Goff is on bye this week. But this was the comparison I heard on the Nick Wright show with Kevin Wilkes and all that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't watch it, but I know what you're talking about.
First things first. Yes. Right. Yes. That's it.
Yeah,
Um, it's a real question. Who would you rather have, Joe Burrow or Jared Goff? It's now a question.
I don't know. Because I mean, I don't know. Because I still think if you put Burrow on the Detroit Lions right now,
All right.
but I don't know. Burrow's been terrible, and he's got Jamar Chase, Higgins, the greatest wide receiver ever, Yoshi. Yeah,
And that criminal, Jermaine Burton.
that criminal out of the league. Uh,
It was just interesting.
I,
The stats, of course, made Golf look
I just,
better. It's just one of those things. Situation is king.
yeah,
But the whole point was it's a conversation that you wouldn't have thought we would ever have,
right, yeah, because
and it is a
that went.
conversation.
Yeah, Burrow was a god after that Super Bowl, and he did look awesome. He was awesome at
Yeah.
LSU. Goes to Super Bowl with the Bengals, and now he dresses like Zoolander and sucks. So, like, what has happened to this guy? I swear he has a
Uh,
crazy. It's got to be some crazy girlfriend that he has. He's not focused. It's got to be something.
okay. Let's look at this. Let's look at the Renegades. Xavier Legette had his final a very solid game, his best game of the season so far. Basically 20 points, 6 catches, 66 yards, and one touchdown. Now, actually, like he actually had, by football standards, actually a bad game. Like there's a lot of mistakes out there, but stats wise, he brought it. So a great game from him. He is projected 11 points. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. Do you think it basically this is a do you think it keeps going for the get? Is that more of what's to come, or was that an outlier of a game at Chicago? Tough matchup, 11
Yeah,
points.
I'll say Chicago's defense has been really good, and that's what's keeping them in it right now. And why it's the offense. Although Caleb does get better each week, um, I'll say the Bears will hold them in check, and I don't think Andy Dalton will do as good as he's done the past 2 weeks. I know they lost last week, but I don't think they'll do as good. The Bears defense will be solid.
Okay. All right. So we got the under on that. And then I'm a little bit nervous, man. These Miami Dolphins are making me pretty nervous. Devon Achane, um, he still the running back 11. He only had like 5 points last week. I'm not even gonna pour it up. It was around
Yeah,
5 points, something like that. He averages 17. He's projected 16 and a half. Give me an over under.
okay. I'm assuming they think Tua is coming back because they do not have an answer at QB right now. They looked awful
I think
Monday night.
real quick on that. McDaniel, that's starting to wear thin. I feel like.
I just think the guy thinks he's way too cool, and anybody that
I
thinks they're
think
way
he's
too
trying to
cool,
make
I'm not a fan of.
I think he was trying to make Snoop Huntley do things that he's not supposed to. Like those are intense calls for the quarterback that's actually over the offense. Those are not easy calls, easy pre-snap stuff
Yeah,
and all. It's a lot. It's an intricate offense. It's similar. It's a Shanahan tree. Like it's not easy. That's why like Lance couldn't do it and Purdy could. Like you have to have the right fit or the right person that can process and throw without thinking and just process machine. Can't just do that to a guy off the street. Like I looked like he was. I thought they were going to run him a lot more. They seemed to
yeah,
have a little bit of success
yeah.
when they ran him some, but that they didn't stay with it.
They got to be thinking too is coming back though, because I still think I got Ryan Tannehill on my team, and he would be
He's still
awesome in
there.
Miami right now. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I might be dropping him soon, but Tua, I don't know. I'm surprised if Tua comes back. I feel like it would just be a media nightmare because Tua gets hit one time. Oh my God, he shouldn't have been out there. But anyway, back to Achan. I think he bounces back. It's the Patriots. What 16.6? That's what over.
Yeah, it's a 16.5. I said, but yeah, it's a hefty projection.
It is. No, not with that QB. He's under.
Yeah, I think I have to go. I mean, I'm not. I don't always answer all of these that I throw out. Usually, just you in Detroit, but I think I have to go under on that until I see different because that was pretty bad. And I
Yeah,
don't know that the game will demand it. Well, it might because it's been ugly.
I know. I don't
Patriots are
know.
favored. Did you know that?
What are the Patriots? I mean, I guess I'm fine with it. It seems like Drake May's not going to play no matter what all year, which
No,
it
you get
might be
killed.
good. Mahomes, get it like Mahomes. Take the
Yeah.
whole year. Uh, Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah,
the
but the
Patriots were
Patriots are
favorites.
Patriots
God.
are I think they're favored by 2 in this game.
Uh, and for KDFL talk, if the Renegades lose this game, they might do the biggest sell off ever. I think it might make me and the
Detroit.
River Rats. Yeah,
Yeah.
it might make us look like it was nothing because this guy is in a dark place right now. And if
It
he
is
loses,
I mean, shout out to the Renegades. We're here for you, buddy. You are a part of the Dunbar clique, so we will not leave
yeah,
you stranded. We
we
are here for
all.
you. Meet us at the bingo hall for fresh refreshments and stale popcorn. We will talk through this. We do not give up yet. All right. The Owen Wilson. I'm reading Don't Kill Myself books. And we even tried to gas him up, fellow Dunbarian, Kings GM. Preseason #1.
I know, yeah. I said I
It's
love
tough
your team.
though. It's tough. You got the injuries stacking up. You have Garrett Wilson not doing what he was supposed to be doing. T. Higgins
Help
actually
him.
doing what he's always been doing, not playing as consistently as you'd want. So
Waddle's on the bench
Kyle
because
Pitts,
they don't have a QB for
Waddle gets
Waddle.
killed. Yeah, Waddle gets killed. Joe Mixon's been out. It has been a perfect storm essentially for the Renegades because this is obviously a strong team, but it has been a perfect storm of problems so far this season. But it's a long season. That being said, Detroit picked the Wake Forest Lumberjacks to get the win. Matt, what say you in this game?
For his health and everything, I got to go Roxanne Renegades.
Oh, definitely.
And
I'm going Renegades as well.
Lumberjacks might be in sell mode too, based on some of the conversations they've been saying. I don't know who they're selling because
Lumberjacks, yes, they might be in
their
sell
team's
mode up
like
here.
23
They
years
don't
old.
have they have nothing to sell. They just have to keep
You're gonna
riding this
sell all
out.
your young guys in a dynasty
Yeah.
league? I mean, you could be like me, just whatever.
One thing we know about the Lumberjacks, they don't make irrational trades. They keep a well thought out process. They have a plan. They stick to it. So I'm sure it's all going according to plan so far. I'm really excited about the future in Wake Forest. All right, next, let's go to the Kings and the Evil Empire. Little side note: this was the game of the week until I realized that the game of the week, one of the game of the week participants, both of them, one of them's only had one of them hadn't had any, so I had to switch it up a little bit. But the Kings and the Evil Empire, 3-1 Kings, 3-1 Evil Empire. Let's look at the breakdown. Let's stay since we got the ZENFUL Matt Smith here, Travis Etienne, and I don't keep track of who I've said in the past. So if I've done a player over again, that's my mistake. But Travis Etienne, I hear it, Matt. I hear the wrestling in the branches. I hear the calls for the tank to get more and more touches. I hear it.
Yeah.
Music to my ears. Travis Etienne, running back 27 on the season so far. He's averaging 12 points. His projections for let's call it 14. It's against Indy. Najee just did some damage against Indy. What say you, Travis Etienne, over under 14?
God, we need him to go over. But Tank has looked good. Tank has been
I mean,
when he's getting the ball. Last year it was a train wreck every time he got the ball.
every time.
This year it is, it's completely different. Travis Etienne has not looked great, but again, the Jags looked pretty good last week. I don't. What did Etienne end up with last week? He had 7 points.
He got banged up, though, didn't he, at the beginning?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah. But he still got his carries.
I gotta go for my sanity. I will go over. Hope he's got to go over. Hold on, just one quick point. The Evil Empire, they do have one guy on bye right now, but I just want to point out that the Zen Masters are currently projected more points than the South Hills Evil Empire. just want to point that out.
They have the daggone Eagles are on bye, and it's Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley.
I don't care.
His two top scorers.
No, just talk about depth. God, that's been an issue with this team for the past couple of years. One bye week, one team's on bye, and they fall apart. Good God.
All right, let's look at it. Let's go to Amari Cooper. Like, it's been sad. Wide receiver 41. He's averaging 11 points, which isn't, it's not unstartable. He's projected 13. He gets the Commanders, which were supposed to be an offense or a defense that you can really throw on. Amari Cooper over under 13 points.
Man, the Browns just truly suck. Deshaun just needs out of the league. Cancel him somehow. I think he's
I don't know what you
uncancelable.
could do to cancel him. How could you,
I think he's.
what
I
could you
think it's.
possibly do?
I think it's in his contract. He cannot get canceled. So I
Cancel
got to
him
go under.
somehow is the line of the pod. If we could just find a reason that this guy shouldn't be here.
You can link him to a few things. That's happening in the world right now. Um, anyway, I got to go under. The Browns look awful. Like they look absolutely terrible. He's not getting
All
this
right.
one.
Detroit went with the Kings, getting the win. Matt, what say you?
I mean, the Kings are projected to kill them, so I got to go Kings.
The Eagles bye week. If you can survive that, that'd be good. But the running back room is really thin right now with the Evil Empire, McLaughlin, Benson, and these are not guys by any means are going to have the lion's share of the work. So, yeah, let me get the Kings. Evil Empire fall to 3-2. All right, next up, the Wampus Cats at 3-1, taking on the 2-2 Sinners. Ken Walker comes back last week. Looks extremely impressive. I did not think you could run on the Lions defense like that. That was the whole calling card. You can throw on the line some, you can't run on them. Ken Walker proves us all wrong. He is projected 17 points, averaging 27. It's a bit misleading because hasn't had that many games. It's 2 games or whatever. But Ken Walker getting the Giants. I feel like this is a heavily targeted matchup for fantasy. Matt, what do you think? Ken Walker over 17 points.
The Seahawks running backs this year has been unstoppable. For Zach Charbonnet, it's criminal that he is on the bench right now. He did awesome the couple weeks that he got to play without Ken Walker. That should definitely be starting in the league somewhere. Ken Walker seems like he's going to be the workhorse when he is there. I got to go over 17. The running backs look ridiculous for the Seahawks this year.
I like it. On the other side, I'll throw you a bone here. Rashid Shaheed, wide receiver, 13 on the season, averaging 16. He's projected 16. Over under. This is versus the Chiefs. Let's see.
He's getting the bomb. He's getting that bomb touchdown.
They're gonna at least throw it this week.
Yeah, they have to. Yeah.
Yeah, I do think they'll throw it this week. Did they try against the Eagles? I think they did, right? One?
They did, and he had it.
Okay, I thought I remember that.
It was a dime, and he drops it. I'm telling you, I've yelled it. Like they could use Adams. Shaheed, imagine if Adams is the number 2, and Shaheed's ranked 13th in the league right now. God, Saints Super Bowl bound. That's it.
Unstoppable.
They somehow worked that magic with the salary cap that they always.
Yeah, they kick the can down the road. Bills never do. All right, Detroit went with the Wampus Cats getting the victory. Matt, I know how much you love the Sinners.
I do love them a little bit more because they got Sam Darnold now.
They do have Sam Darnold.
Based on Sam, I'll do it based. I don't know. He's got Derrick Henry. God, the Wampus Cats running backs are looking good with Derrick Henry, James Cook, and Ken Walker.
Yep.
And Allen Lazard. Damn it! Why did I drop that guy? Drop him for no reason. God, this is a tough matchup. I will go. He's going to have a big game, and Sam Darnold's a legend. I am, for once, picking the St. Albans Senators to win.
Yes. Look at this. Mike Evans kills the Falcons, or he has pretty routinely. So I think he's going to, and I do agree that Shaheed will catch one. Darnold versus the Jets, I don't love that matchup. Like this could be, but we said it last week. This is when Darnold comes back to earth, and it just hasn't been. But overall, give me the Sinners to get this victory. Can't all pick chalk all day long. All right. Game of the week, week 5. We revisit the champs coming off a loss. The Midnight Riders at 3-1, going to Dogtown to take on the 3-1 Dobermans. It feels like the Dobermans always start hot last few seasons in the year. I know they were the last undefeated team last season. They continue to be strong this year. Both these teams, like I said, coming off of a loss. Let's look at, you know what? Let's just do it. Baker Mayfield, quarterback, Bucks, quarterback 3 on the year. He's averaging 23. He's projected 17 versus Atlanta. Matt, over under your beloved Baker Mayfield, 17 points.
Gotta go over. So it'll be a high scoring game. Falcons
I
and
just
Bucks.
love that you keep the emotion out of it. And you just really you don't go with your
Yep.
guys. They're your guys. Um, you
Baker?
did
Why is
betray.
Baker
You
my guy?
betrayed
I do
ETN.
like Baker.
I know you do. All right.
Why not? Yeah,
Um, oh, a big player to watch here. I want to see Dontavian Wicks. The bold prediction of the Midnight Riders was that Dontavian Wicks will be the best wide receiver, or number one wide receiver on the Midnight Riders, or lead them in touchdown passes. One of those two. Um, he's gonna have his time to shine a little bit. It's come on stronger lately. A good game last week, so we'll see if that continues. And we'll throw you another bone on the other side here with Brian Thomas Jr. Averaging
forever.
averaging 14 and a half. He's the wide receiver 16, going up against Indy, projected only 12 points. He'll be in Duval. Matt, what do you think about Brian Thomas Jr.? Over or under 12 points?
The thing that keeps me zen with Brian Thomas Jr. is I would still be struggling to start him on my team right now based on my lineup.
There you go.
It's just crazy. Crazy to think of. Again, I'll go over. Brian Thomas Jr., 14 and a half. They gotta do well. This is at home. They have to get this victory. I mean, 0-5, go 0-5 at home against the Colts. Is Anthony Richardson?
0 and
Anthony
5 to
Richardson,
get Peterson fired in the middle of the year.
yeah, at home too. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it really could. I just thought, I mean,
Wow.
it's possible.
I mean, Josh Allen too. Against the Texans, Sam Darnold carved him up. Trevor did all right. He could have done really well. He threw that bomb to Christian Kirk. I think Josh Allen will have a huge game against the Texans. Screw the
All right.
Texans.
Detroit went with the Dobermans. What say you on this?
And I don't is Rashee Rice out for the year? Have they said that yet?
No, it's not. I don't think it's a full tear. I think they got lucky there.
That's unfortunate.
It's not a full tail. It's unfortunate. It's not a full tear. I don't believe. Last I saw. I don't know about a timeline.
Could be a season-ending ACL tear.
Yeah, it's not as certain now.
Yet.
That's what I said. They said like we'll see it next week or we'll have results next. I'm like, what do you mean? Somebody,
I don't
look at it, please.
think Devontae Adams is playing for the Midnight Riders, so he could sub in. Adams is not playing. There's no way unless he gets traded.
No,
and plays this coming week.
Even if he plays, he gets Surtain.
He could play with his best friend.
He gets Surtain.
Derek Carr.
Okay. I love that the podcast is going to get you just saying Derek Carr to nothing right there.
Yeah, I gotta go Denver because Devontae's not playing. There's no way Devontae plays this week.
Devontae's not going to play. Tyreek Hill is going to get Gonzalez, and it hasn't been good even without that. I do want to see what Wicks does. I do think Fields could carve up Dallas. All that being said, we're going to go get the meme alert out. We're going to go with the Dobermans across the board to get the victory in the Week 5 game of the week. Let's stop sharing now. Back full screen to our beautiful faces. Going over as we wrap up on this episode, looking at the locks of the week. Detroit has Washington -3. Who is that? Washington -3 is versus the Browns in Washington. That seems like a rat line. If I had to bet that, I would bet Cleveland. Cleveland only getting -3 in Washington versus Cleveland. That seems I sniff a rat, like river rat. I sniff bullshit, and I would take the Browns. I don't know why they're only getting 3. The Commanders are on fire. Mm-hmm. The Browns are only getting 3. It has to make sense, and it's because the fix is in
Vegas. Yeah,
so Detroit wanted me to just say his pick, and I just obliterated his pick. So we'll see if that covers or not. And he's going to the London game over 40.5. Detroit, I don't know what we're doing this week, buddy. It's literally, there's a phrase for it. It's called the Lunder. All right. It's a London unders hit at an alarming rate. You've done 2 picks now that I can't believe. I will say it for you just to make up for it, Brett. I suck, but there you go. There's the Detroit's picks. Washington -3 and the Jets and the Vikings over 40.5. Matt, give us your picks.
And my closing segment. All right.
Of course.
It's October now, the best month of the year. some of the greatest people in the world are born in October. Leafs are changing colors in West Virginia. Weather's getting cooler in Florida. Halloween time, football on almost every night. It's a beautiful time of the year. Hope everybody truly embraces it, enjoys it. Don't watch the news. News is terrible. Get off social media. It's terrible for you too. Have a peaceful mind. With that, I will say everybody have a good evening. And Raiders and Broncos under 36 because it might be a total of 6 points for that game. 6-0 might win the game. And I'm not just on the lock of the week. I am picking the Saints straight up to whip that Chiefs ass on my birthday, Monday night. It's going to be awesome. Derek Carr is going to shut up the haters again, as the haters have came back out for whatever reason. Saints, I should get 2 check marks when this happens. Saints beat the Chiefs.
Just setting yourself up for the Saints to lose by 1. All right,
that's not happening.
Look at this. Talk about lines that don't make sense to me. The Vikings are red hot. The Jets have looked awful. The Jets are only getting 2.5 in London. Give me the Jets getting the 2.5. It's the same philosophy with the Browns I talked about a little bit earlier. And I do think it's going to be. I think Carr will look good on Monday night. He historically does play well against the Chiefs. So I'm going to take the over as part of that action because I don't really want to root for the Saints side. So let me get the over 42.5 Saints and Chiefs. So for Jonathan Detroit Haynes, still recovering in Detroit, for the ZENFUL Matt Smith, I'm Brett Steele, and we will see you right here next week with Week 5 results and Week 6 picks right here on the KDFL Dynasty Football Podcast.